Welcome to Varney the Vampire in a nutshell. The plot concerns the troubles that Sir Francis Varney inflicts upon the Bannerworths, a formerly wealthy family driven to ruin by their recently deceased father. Though the earliest chapters give the standard motives of blood sustenance for Varney's actions toward the family, later ones suggest that Varney is motivated by monetary interests. The story is at times inconsistent and confusing, as if the author did not know whether to make Varney a literal vampire or simply a human who acts like one. He's portrayed as loathing his condition, and at one point he turns Clara Crofton, a member of another family he terrorises, into a vampire for revenge. Over the course of the book, Varney is presented with increasing sympathy as a victim of circumstances. He tries to save himself but is unable to do so. He ultimately commits suicide by throwing himself into Mount Vesuvius, after having left a written account of his origin with a sympathetic priest. According to Varney, he was cursed with vampirism after he betrayed a royalist to Oliver Cromwell, and subsequently killed his own son accidentally in a fit of anger. He dies and is revived several times in the course of his career. This is a Victorian-era serialised Gothic horror story variously attributed to James Malcolm Rymer and Thomas Peckett Prest. It first appeared in 1845 to 1847 as a series of weekly cheap pamphlets of the kind then known as penny dreadfuls. The author was paid by the typeset line, so when the story was published in book form in 1847, it was of epic length. The original edition ran to 876 double-columned pages and 232 chapters. Altogether, it totals nearly 667,000 words. Many of today's standard vampire tropes originated in Varney the Vampire. This is also the first example of the sympathetic vampire, a vampire who despises his condition, but is nonetheless a slave to it. The story links to other vampire novels such as Dracula, An Interview with a Vampire, and Let the Right One In. Read Chapter 1. How is the vampire presented? What was the public reaction to the text when it was published? Research vampirism and explore how the presentation of vampires has changed in the 20th and 21st centuries.